how do you actually do metric tracking? Metrics tell you how well the sales system is performing, fundamentally. We also call these KPIs, so key performance indicators. And there are two types of metrics that we have. We have primary KPIs, which is your appointment booking rate, your show up rate, your sales conversion rate, right? And then you have secondary KPIs, which is everything but these three things. Okay? Important, very important, extremely important. If the primary metrics are in KPI, meaning they're in a range that's acceptable, the secondary ones don't matter at all, and you shouldn't touch anything in the entire system. Don't change a word. And the cool thing is, if everyone says the same thing the same way, then you will get similar KPIs for each individual salesperson, which means if one of them isn't performing, you can just troubleshoot the issue very easily by just comparing the processes. It becomes so easy. But for this to work, because this sounds extremely easy, and it is, but for this to work, you need to have done every single step I just explained and every single step that I'm about to explain. Okay, so what should you track per rep to measure their performance? Because there's a bunch of things. Well, I'm going to break it down by each function. So appointment setters and closers, and I'll try to keep it simple, even though there's going to be a lot of numbers. So first of all, we have appointment setters, right? They have two primary metrics. You have your ABR, which is your appointment booking rate, which equals meetings booked divided by the inputs they made. And with inputs, I mean stuff like dials made, emails sent, DMs sent, stuff you can actually do. So for example, if you book 10 meetings from 100 dials, right, then you have a 10% appointment booking rate. If you book 10 meetings from 200 DMs, then you have a 5% appointment booking rate on that system, okay? So that's the primary metric that you should track because it tells you basically how well they're doing their job. And then the second one is the total inputs they do. Now, this is not really a percentage metric. It's just a number. And it's the number of dials, emails, DMs they send per day or per week or per month, right? I track it per day. And the thing is, and why I combine these two, if you know your conversion rates, so this, right? If you know they have a 10% ABR, you can give them a target to aim for every day, which is now in their control. So you know that if you gave them a target of 10 meetings per day, and you know their conversion rate is 10% for every one, then you can just tell them all you need to do today, your main metric that you should track as an individual, not for you, the manager, but for them, because they don't understand metrics a lot of times, is just do 100 dials. That's all you need to do. Do 100 dials with the script I gave you and say it the right way. Done. Suddenly everyone reaches their target. It's amazing. Because no one can control how many conversations they will have, but they can control how many dials they do, right? That's fundamentally the only thing you can really control is how many inputs you do. Everything else is just based on math, but you can control it. And a sales rep probably won't get it. And so for secondary metrics, you have two, which is first of all, your show up rate. So that's just meetings showed divided by meetings booked. So if you have 7 shows and 10 meetings, you have a 70% show up rate. Yes, this is still the SDR's responsibility. Once they show up, the closer can take over. But before they show up, then it's still in the SDR's name and they should work on it. All right. Which means if you have a no-show, that's SDR's responsibility to rebook. And you have a secondary metric, which is qualified lead rate, so QLR, which is meetings qualified divided by meetings held or meetings showed, right? So if you have 7 qualified calls divided by 10 showed, you have a 70% qualified lead rate. Qualified just means, they fit your ICP or you use a qualification framework, whatever you do, whatever you deem as qualified, that's how you can track it. Just make sure it's a checklist and not like really an objective thing. So you can't just say they have a pain point because everyone might, see that differently. And then you'll have discussions. It needs to be actual stuff you can either say yes or no to. And you can also give bonuses on this, right? Because that helps keep the quality high. But again, I'll give you a way better model in the commission structures at the end of the video. So that's it for SDRs, right? Again, if the ABR is in KPI, then all you need to tell them to do is do their dials and that's it. Even if this is not as good, don't touch anything.